I'm not. So Jamie and I are sitting here this morning after a couple of very busy days working on our fence. And this is the first time that we're realizing that, okay, so we have a difference of opinion. Jamie and I have this is not the first time that we know.
No one is shocked that you and I have a difference of opinion.
All right, so I told Jamie that I'm afraid by having our fence up over there, it's going to change the entire, not landscape of our yard, but the view from sitting right here where we drink our coffee in the mornings. Because we only have the post up right now, but I can tell you that when we have our 4 panels, like we have over there, it's going to pretty much cut off the view from, well, you can't really see the river through there anymore. I mean, you can see it through the panels of the fence, but it just kind of looks like it's going to close off our yard.
Yeah, you feel like it's going to shrink us.
I feel like it's going to shrink us, and it's not. But then Jamie goes, it's a necessary thing. Why is it so necessary again?
So our children don't die.
Our kids
Our furry and feathered and skin covered
babies.
Children. Because it's a very scary cliff. It really is. It's a dangerous bluff. And so you don't sleepwalk when you're walking out to pee in the middle of the night and drop off or anything. Or drive off it with the lawnmower.
You want to walk over?
All right.
We're having our coffee, but we're sitting here. We got the last post set late last night. I made a Facebook video about it, but I haven't done a lot with YouTube.
I haven't been able to put my arms over my head in, several days now. So, sorry, my hair's a mess because I can't do it.
No one's looking at your hair. They're looking at our new fencing.
Well,
but we've been excited. We have known for a long time we had to do this. Ever since the birds, ever since Lex and Connor.
Yeah.
Lex and Connor, Lex is 10, and he's at that age. He and Connor are both where they're just little daredevils.
They are.
And they just can't play they can't play in the yard. They have to play right on the edge.
Yeah.
And I'm having to constantly watch them. Stephanie doesn't even like Connor to come over because she's so afraid of what he's going to get into.
Well, think about, this is a 300-foot elevation. From river to here is 300
No,
foot.
falling off the edge of this could hurt. It could really, you could die. It could kill a kid. It could hurt an adult. It might could even kill an adult. They break a neck or something. But it's too dangerous and it's slippery.
Yeah.
And so even though our cats and dogs love to run up and down it, the goats love it, obviously, they can still do that if they want to. But our big babies, our birds especially, can't. Oh, it's windy.
Yeah.
Hi, kitties. So the dogs, cats will still be able to go through it if they choose to.
Yeah.
But
It's just, it's necessary, and we'll have a gate to be able to get across and to do things. I was talking a little bit in my video about some of the plans for on the other side where there's a little bit more space.
yeah,
I want to, take that space to be able to plant shrubs and like blueberry bushes and blackberry.
what on the cliff side?
Yeah, over here in this spot on the corner.
Well, that means you're going to be walking right alongside the cliff, Jamie,
Way down here at the end where it's safe.
where we have more space.
Yeah. So there's a little, not right here, obviously your clear place where you.
So, Jamie, talk a little bit about why you convinced me to move it further back, because my initial plan was to have it literally running right along the cliff, the edge of the ridge.
Yeah, you did. But the erosion potential, especially from disturbing the dirt, would be greater. And the last thing we want is to create more of an erosion or a mudslide situation, or to disturb this firm soil, because if you disturb it, it'll just keep moving back and back and back.
And we didn't want to end up losing the fence that we spent money and time on. Carl's not real sure what to think about it.
And Carl's like, I just see this as an enclosure, Dad. This is really... So you see how the bluff actually comes out further and the dirt goes underneath it? This is part of the
that's
reason.
why Jamie did not want me building right along the edge, because
There's no support.
there's no support. And sure enough, I'd start digging through there. That might end up making it cave off even faster.
Yeah.
So we do have an erosion issue. I don't know how we'd ever fix that. There's a lot of ideas people suggest,
There's a lot of expensive ideas.
that's what I was going to say. But every idea includes big rock and possible bulkheads. And guys, those are things that we just don't really have in our budget.
No, there's going gonna have to be plans to mitigate it, but it's gonna have to be done in like chunks. So we're gonna have to have a professional come out and say, this is your worst part or your greatest risk, and this is where you tackle first, and then that's how we're gonna have to figure it out.
Yeah.
I don't think that we're smart enough to figure that out.
No, but we did put the fence at least a good 8 to 10 feet off of the ridge, so we still have many, many years, hopefully, before it would ever work itself that far in. And so, well, I will say this: we bought the land in December. Well, we visited in December. We bought it in what month?
We closed in February.
In February, but we've not noticed any erosion since we've been here. Now, of course, we had a horrible drought this summer. Haven't had a whole lot of rain.
Yeah.
But there's been
like
no new erosion.
Yeah, it's a slow thing, except for way down at the river there.
Yeah, down by the river now, where the water comes up and where all this water flows to, it's been pretty bad.
Yeah.
But no, we will have us a fence up there, and then the goats, when they come down with me, or even without me, they're welcome to come down and nibble and eat on all they want to down here. But there's no way they can come up the hill and go into the yard or get into the garden or the barn where we keep our feeds.
Yeah,
so
they're able to climb this cliff like they love to do and eat on all that shrub. There'll be plenty of nutrients and things that are goatly. I'll just say that.
Goatly?
Goatish?
Goatish, okay.
I don't know. Make up a word if you want to.
There's still a lot of green stuff on the hill, actually.
There is, and they would really enjoy it. But in this spring and summer, it is loaded. Like, it is lush down here.
Yeah, it's too much real estate to go wasted by having nothing to eat on it.
It needs goats.
And that's when we bring all the other goats
Which
back
is
as
why
well.
This actually grew up because they didn't spend enough time down here.
Yeah.
If you look in our woods, the woods don't look like this.
Yeah.
The woods do not have a floor covering, that goes a few feet high because the goats kept it all down.
Yeah.
So
And
that next spring and summer for here as well.
And don't forget that we will bring the other goats back for the spring and summer.
Yeah,
this is their summer getaway. So all of the other goats, but maybe not Ringo. We've talked about that, but probably Ringo will not. And there'll be a few that will leave it. I'm a survivor.
Yeah.
But the hills are hard on Ringo's legs.
They're real hard on him. I think old Nanny Goat probably will end up staying too.
And I would think if we leave old Nanny, we gotta leave Tilly.
Yep. And they're happy there. They're peaceful. There's plenty for them three to eat, and the others will thrive out here.
So yeah, we'll have that fence. I can't work today. Number one, it's rainy. Number two, I have to let my posts set. I like them set at least a day, sometimes two. And I don't want to get over here and start hammering and nailing and screwing away with my corral board. I told Jamie I could paint, put the stain on, but not if it's rainy. And then for the folks who are going to ask about the access to my prayer place, I have to put that fence, that gate, either over here and have it open towards me, which would be easy enough to come by right over here, unlatch, pull it open, and that would give me access to my prayer place. I could also have access from here all the way down the ridge to weed eat, or if I have to blow the leaves or whatever I'm doing. The goats would be able to get up as far as here. The goats could climb the hill and come this high up, but there'll be no way to get over into the yard. I also have access to my water still. Look at these cats. They are just so at home. They are so at home with the hills and all. What a neat little life for them. Anyway, the fence, the new fence will extend all the way along the ridge. And it will go all the way to the horse and cow pasture, the big 10-acre pasture. This is the only spot where I had to get real close. And this is a little bit scary because you can see the erosion has worked up underneath that clump right there. I think the roots of that tree are still holding it intact. But if I have to move a section of the fence here and there, I can always do that. But this is obviously where I got the closest. I tried to do it here to avoid not having to cut my trees. I was able to find a spot right down through there. You can see on each side. And didn't have to cut any trees out of the way. Yeah. I will say one last thing. Now, I did talk about this in a YouTube video, a Facebook video. And I know for you guys who double dip, you're like, hey, I already heard this last year. You're repeating the video. Replay. It's not a replay. It's a different video. But, you know that this is the first fence that I've ever built that's not been squared off to anything. And I've had a little bit of a weird time with that. You know, I'm all about having things squared off. Everything needs to be, you know, I like things to be squared off. But this fence over here, now we got 3 kittens running around with us. We got all 3 of the babies with Trixie. But this fence over here is literally following the ridge line all the way across the back of the property. And I had plans at first to kind of had it all squared off, but I got an email from a lady in Kentucky who sent me a lot of pictures of the way they do their fences, because I'm guessing there are lots of hills and ridges. Well, you know, Kentucky. And she talked about how a lot of folks will just follow the ridge line, and it makes it look more natural instead of having everything squared off in places that you really can't square it off. And that makes a lot of sense to me. So this is a new experience for me. It's something I haven't tried before. And you know what's kind of crazy is there's actually a small curves in the ridge line, which means that my lumber, I'll have to try to curve my lumber. And I've never done that. I've never had, you know, curved lumber. Please be careful. Look at this cat. Look at where the cat's at. And look at the drop off down below. Sweetie. And there's some trash down there too, I just noticed. Baby, please be careful. I guess cats are fine. They climb trees. They know what they're doing. But, and she's gonna lay, yeah, she's gonna lay there. Lay right on the edge. Trixie, don't mess with her. She can fall. Trixie, can you save her so she doesn't fall? That's a good 10-foot drop. This is even further. And they're having all kinds of fun doing that. Oh, Lord. All right, so Beverly's asking for a little bit of attention. Yeah, we've gotten quite a bit of rain, which, hey, after the drought we had this summer, I will not complain about the weather. Not when it's rainy. No, sir, you'll not hear me complaining. Hi, ladies. So this is that coastal hay that the vet said they wanted Dixie to have. So I dropped it over in here with them to stay nice and dry. And they can nibble on it as they want to. Hey, sweetie. What are you guys doing? You okay? Can I love on you? Oh, boy, she's a fuzzy wuzzy. She is one fuzzy wuzzy. What are you hollering at me for? What are you yelling about? Here comes all the cats and dogs. Everybody wants to be a part of something special. All right, I just wanted to come say hi to y'all because I love you so much, okay? And y'all are really good girls. And I hope that y'all are enjoying your Dixieland there. I know that Trixie's enjoying it. Trixie likes Dixieland. She sure does. Oh, boy, this is a fun place to play. She can scratch her back on that hay, and the kitty can jump on it, and all kinds of fun. Yeah, I took my tractor and set that hay right over the edge and knocked it off so the cows, the horses can still walk around. And I say cows because, believe it or not, the cows do come over here a lot. They're over there right now. But the horses, horse and donkey, they run the cows out. They don't want, oh no, Beverly, are you limping? Baby, why are you limping, sweetie? I see that you're limping. What's wrong with you? Which foot hurts, baby? My gosh. Another foot issue. Another foot issue. I can't keep up with everybody. Talking about another fencing project is probably going to annoy a lot of folks. It's crazy, though. I will tell you, I know most people who don't like the projects are no longer watching anyway. But it's crazy to me the way you love to see, and I say you, I'm generalizing. This is not everybody. But a lot of folks love to see the animals, but they don't really care about how you got there and how you're maintaining them. They only want to see the animals. But guys, it's not that easy to have the animals without all of the work that it goes into maintaining them. All the money that you spend in trying to offer them their best life. This is Wanda. She's got her little party dress on right there. And here's all the babies, even though they're not really much babies anymore. Then, of course, we have our sweet Tina right there, who is feeling better. She is feeling better. They've all laid down here in the dust, the dirt, to have themselves little dust baths, which is a special part of their diet, a part of their daily routine. There goes a cat who they can't stand to run right through them like that. But, no, everyone's doing fine over here. We talked about our cows in our live video who had a little bit of a cough. I'm going to walk down. I didn't mean to take up so much of y'all's time. Look out, kitty. Tat, leave the kitties and leave daddy alone. We talked about our cows. All of them have a little bit of a cough. You don't hear, they don't walk around coughing. But anytime you have a cough in your child or in your partner or in yourself, you have to pay attention. And when we noticed it was one, then it was another one, then it was another one. Okay, so we're like, something's going on. So we start checking into it, and we find out that all the cattlemen are having the same things. And then those in the know are talking about why that's happening. And so it's nice to have a network of friends who are in the business, you might say, and they can tell you what's happening. So worst case scenario, we have to have a vet come out and do an oral antibiotic injection, one of those you put down their throat. Best case scenario, they all start getting up, moving around more. We get them getting their bodies to start regulating, and they'll all be fine. Nothing necessary. Nothing extra necessary. And as of right now, no one's coughing. No one's. What? I'm checking on. This is a welfare check, okay? This is Daddy doing a welfare check. How you all feeling? I know you're all laid up because it's kind of cold and nasty. Guys, and just be aware that they do have a place to go. Even though they're all lying here out in the pasture, my barn stalls are all open. You can see all the gates are open. They do have a stall to go into, but many times your cows don't want to. All right, I love you guys. I'll see you later. Listen, I'm afraid I've rambled on long enough, and I've kept you longer than you probably have time for. I know you got things going on, things to do. I will say the last animals I'll show you real fast are the goats. They're all hanging around in their pasture. Now, of course, they have access to the entire 10 acres. They can go through their doggy door and go in and out if they want to, but because of the rain, they're staying close to home. They are. Because of the rain, the off and on rain, the showers, they're staying really close to home, not wanting to wander off too far just in case it comes a downpour. Goats do not like rain. They can't stand it. So, uh-oh. What was that? Look at this. Now, what scares me about this, I believe this is a very old spring. I don't think this is anything that could be on the Argo. But I do know that the Argo has a lot of springs, and that's part of the how it drives the wheels, and the way it is the zero turn, all that kind of stuff is controlled by a series of springs. I hope this is not one of them, because this here looks pretty old. But I'm going to hold on to it just in case I have any issues, and if I have to take it in, I'll say, hey, this is a spring I found in my pasture. How did it come off and why? That Argo only has about nine hours on it. I've had it for several months, but it has very low hours. 'Cause I don't drive it a whole lot. I drive it out to the pastures every day to drop off the feed. I do a little bit of playing on it, but I don't really play the way Jake does. I just drive it around here and there. Sometimes we'll rake my pastures using the Argo. But yeah, 9 hours. If this is in fact the Argo, but I don't think so. This over here has a lot of rust. This is an old spring off of something. So, okay, you don't want to talk about springs, do you? Thank you so much for watching, my friends, and we'll catch you guys on the next video.
Don't let your troubles fester. Come watch Longhorn Lester.